Caitlin Clark white privilege comment sparks intense, personal argument between Riley Gaines and Jemele Hill. Hill made the debate personal by bringing up a traumatic detail about Gaines' past. Caitlin Clark's recent comment about benefiting from white privilege in the WNBA has fueled hostile online debates since it was published in Time magazine on Tuesday. Former NCAA swimmer and Outkick host Riley Gaines got in on the action in her latest online debate with a left-wing figure. This time, Gaines took on journalist Jemele Hill, who has been a staunch critic of Clark and those who have given the WNBA phenom credit for elevating the league. Hill threw the first punch against Gaines, resharing a post on X, where the former swimmer criticized Clark for the comments. "You holler all the time about supporting and protecting women, and yet the moment that Caitlin Clark expresses appreciation and respect for the black women in the WNBA, many of whom she grew up watching and idolizing, suddenly you're acting like a disappointed parent," Hill wrote. Gaines quickly clapped back, responding to Hill's post by mocking the idea of white privilege in the WNBA. White privilege in the WNBA is literally hilarious. Maybe you're like Sunny Hostin and think CC also has tall privilege, pretty privilege, and straight privilege, Gaines wrote. "There's lots of black players in the WNBA I love, and respect too, but I don't admire them because they're black. I admire them for their game. That's the difference." Gaines then doubled down by resharing Hill's initial post with a screenshot of comments the journalist made in an interview with the Los Angeles Times back in May. In that article, Hill insisted it was naive to say Clark's race as a white person and sexuality as a straight woman did not play into her popularity in the WNBA, where the vast majority of players are black and many are lesbian. In that article, Hill also insisted that Clark's popularity with those attributes are problematic. "Being a long-standing professional race baiter must be so exhausting," Gaines quipped to Hill in response. In June, Hill said that the fact that Clark did not make the U.S. Paris Olympic women's basketball team was a good thing for her, and that her exclusion wasn't a snub. Hill also criticized the media for pointing out that the WNBA's playoff ratings dropped after Clark's Indiana Fever were eliminated in the first round, calling the headlines irresponsible. When Clark made her latest comments about benefiting from white privilege with Time magazine, Hill made a post on X, seemingly mocking the players' fans who disagreed. "If you're mad at something so obvious, that means you were never a real fan of hers on the WNBA, you just liked her as long as she could be your avatar to hate on black and queer women," Hill wrote on Wednesday. Then, after picking the fight with Gaines on the topic, Hill went so far as to make it personal. After Gaines' comment about Hill being a professional race baiter, Hill responded with a message mocking the former swimmer for an incident when she tied with trans athlete Leah Thomas at the 2022 NCAA Women's Swimming Championships. "Girl, you need to thank Leah Thomas every day of your life for helping you get famous, otherwise you would have been just a decent college swimmer that no one knew. You wrote the book on grifting, not me," Hill wrote. Gaines' infamous tie to Thomas in 2022 helped ignite a national conversation about biological males competing as trans athletes against women and girls. Gaines quickly became nationally known for the incident and has devoted her platform to advocating for the protection of female athletes from trans inclusion in competition and in locker rooms. Gaines is also leading a lawsuit against the NCAA with other female athletes, accusing the governing body of violating their Title IX rights due to its policies on gender identity.